Okay, here begins the day in the life of Jera, right? So I have just finished having my breakfast and um, I went in and, used bathroom, stuff like that. Actually, I didn't do that there today at the Justice Center, so I'm going to take you into the Justice Center. So, anyway, get myself together, right? Oh, man. Wait. So, all right. So, all right. Now, I always have my little, so that's my wall art. Can you see my wall art? And, well, this is, one of them days. Just one of them days. All right, so, because I also have a panel. This is my other panel. And this is what I use, like a little card, right? I just take a card and I just push this. Let's just do that. Mhm. Mm. Kind of keep the sun out, right? And all right, I'm telling you now. All right, so I'm gonna have to pause this because pause. Okay, I wasn't sure which one to push. All right, so this is the countdown, and it's just a beautiful space to be in. So my question is this: if let's see how this works because it's getting kind of warm in here. All right, so if you're seeking and waiting for Jesus, how would you know if he has returned? And how would you know him if you met him? How would you know? Because, matter of fact, okay, I asked someone in church, and they said, well, I expect him to look the way I have been taught that he looks. And this person was of a Caucasian persuasion, so we know that look, right, of how we have been taught that he looks. So if you're looking for that, you're not going to find him because that's not what he looks like. He doesn't look like anybody because he's not physical. He's not the body. He is the spirit that dwells within the body. And that is Jesus. So how could you ever see him? You never see him with these eyes. You never see him with these eyes. You have to see him with spiritual eyes. And when you see him, if you have your spiritual eyes on, you know him. If you have your spiritual ears open, you hear him. And it's just something peculiar about him that they've never experienced with anyone else before. And and people find themselves, just like loving him. They don't know what it is about him, but they just love him. And that because they don't know what it is that they're truly feeling. They think it's coming from, you know, from the pleasures of life. They think it's coming from, you know, sexuality from that point of view, but it's not. It's a deeper love that they never experienced before. And so they just want to just take him home. They want to take him home, but they don't know what it is that they want to take home exactly. But he's so appealing because the appeal is in the form, it's in the form of he who he dwells in and has awakened, right? So that form is what they are looking at, but they are feeling him. They are feeling the love. They're feeling the love. That energy is so attractive. Yes. And it's so captivating. It's so alluring. It's just like you just want to touch it. You just want to keep it all to yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so, anyway, I'm saying that to say he has awakened within the body of Jera. This body he has awakened in. And I don't know how much recording I have on this thing, so I don't even want to start to begin to tell you when it was noticeable, or when I was definitely on my journey consciously, because you're always on your journey. You've always been on the journey. You've just been sleeping. And so when you awake, everything about you changes. Everything changes. Everything changes. Everything. From the way that you talk and walk and look and dress. Hi, Nisi. This is what I'm doing right now, woman. I'm making this video, so hi. So anyway, everything about you change. The way you interact with people, and the way you see people, and the way that you feel about people and think about people, and you have a different knowing. You have the truth of knowing people. So so no one takes you unaware, because all you have to do is watch and listen a little bit, and okay, I see who that is, whether it be wolf or sheep, because there's nothing else. It's just wolf and sheep on this planet. And so my antennae is very keen, very sharp. So my nose is just as keen as theirs, of course. And yeah, so I'm very aware, and I have had, a person come up to me and say, they know who I am. And I said, I know who you are as well. Of course, we know each other, and it was not speaking, you look familiar, the physical. We were speaking on the spiritual level. He was, for once, for once, for once, telling the truth. So, and so he was afraid of going to hell. Yeah. So I said, you're playing your part. That's what you're doing. You're playing your part. And that which we do that we feel no guilt of, that is without condemnation. That's without condemnation. So if I'm going to see, I can't, on the level that I am speaking on, you'll take it the wrong way. So I have to find another way to put it. All right. So yeah, this journey that we're on from day one. So when I became consciously aware that I was on the journey, that was in 2000 and I'm going to say 2015. Yeah, because that's when I began meditating in 2015. It was 2012 when I began asking the questions. That's when I began asking questions. So you could say that's the beginning, really, because that's when, he said, knock, ask, and seek. So that's when I started asking, right? I was asking, and then I began knocking. And the knocking, get myself together here. The knocking is meditation. Yeah, the knocking is meditation. And I was seeking. So I found him, and I found him to be where he said, he is within me. He is within you. So when he said, follow me, he didn't mean follow somebody outside of yourself. He meant follow the you that is within you, the me that is within you. That's the me he was talking about. So, and I found him. So, ask, and I did. Knocked, and I did. And I sought him. Okay, I did. And I found him. He answered me. He heard me. Okay, and so that was, I'm going to say, so 2012 was the beginning. And that makes sense, right? That makes sense, 2012. Yeah, because that was another opening. 12, 2012. And then that's the number 5 as well. And then that's the 5-pointed star, right? Man, 5-pointed star, man. And why am I losing my clothes? It's no big deal, because eventually I'm going to just be peeling out, And as I was saying, your life changes when you start waking up. Your life changes. So anyway, how would you know? How would you know? Because he doesn't look like anyone, but he is everyone and can be everyone. He is everyone. And so he is everyone. So when he wakes up in one, he wakes up in all of himself. All of himself. That's who he wakes up as. And so, which means, what I'm saying is, everyone who is of the promise, okay, of that seed from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So from the seed of Jacob, okay, Isaac, Jacob. Abraham, let me break it down like this. See, Abraham had 2 sons, Isaac and Ishmael. Ishmael came from the bondservant. Those were the slave kids. So those are the Gentiles. Okay, so then Isaac had two sons, Esau and Jacob. Jacob was God's favorite. Esau he hated. So Esau kids became servant to Jacob. Okay. All right. So it was Jacob's kids who were the blessed and the favored. All right. So those are what we call the chosen, because see, you can't have a chosen without an unchosen. That's just the way it is. That's the way everything is. You have the flip of itself. So the kids that will wake up when Jesus completely awakens, they belong to Jacob's. They are the nations that were blessed, greater than the number of the sands of the sea, if you could count them. So it's like, who would bother? Who could? None. So anyway, it's just an analogy, right? To let you know his seed is innumerable. Okay? And think about that. Now, as you see what's going on in the world now, somebody's getting rained on, somebody is dying, somebody is, getting blown in the wind and beaten by the hail, and flooded out, stuff like that. So that's going on, but not here, because it's peacetime where I am. There is peacetime. So, of course, you have the issues of life. Life must go on. And it does. So, when he awakens, like if your pinky hurts, your toe gonna feel it. Your toe gonna feel it. Every part of your body is gonna feel it, right? Because it's a part of the body. It's a part of the body. So the toe, it didn't get smashed, but it's gonna feel the pain. So that's how it is with Jesus, right? When one pinky wake up, the whole body wake up. Oh my gosh, yeah. When the pinky wake up, the whole body wakes up. All right. So that's how it is. It's like when you turn on a light bulb, right? Or yeah, when you put the light bulb on. Oh my gosh, it doesn't just light up itself. It light up everything that's within, its reach. That's within its realm. So, the pinky was a better analogy, right? So anyway, yeah. So that's how it is. So because there's only one mouthpiece, and he is the mouthpiece. He is the one who brings the bread, So first he make us hungry and thirst after righteousness and truth, right? And then he sends his messenger to feed you and give you the bread of life. So the word is the bread. So I'm going to break this down to you right now, and then I'm going to get off. Speaking of the bread, right? The bread of the fish, Jesus being a fish, and the loaves, when he fed the 5,000s, okay? Come on now, wake up, pow, 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 wake up, pow. It doesn't really mean that. It doesn't really mean that. Let me see. I got some bread. What I got? Let me tell you. Okay, we're going to do it like this, all right? Look. Hey, look, I have 2 oranges. I have 2 oranges, right? I'm going to take these 2 oranges out. and feed this whole community over here with these 2 oranges. Now, these oranges, if I'm going to do that, it has to mean something more than what it really is. It is something of nutritious substance, right? It's something that will, sustain life. And let's say it's something that is life-giving, right? Because you need to eat to stay alive. All right, so now Jesus, being that Jesus is not a person, Jesus is your imagination awakened. That's your power. That's your Jesus. Jesus, that's how Jesus is your power. He's your imagination awakened. Because once your imagination wake up, there's nothing that you can't do, and no one can slave you around. You know what I'm saying? So Jesus is the bread of life. He is that. He said, if you knew who you was talking to, woman, you'd be asking me to give you some water. Living waters, right? Hold up, because this is aggravating me. Okay, so, all right, so here it comes, here comes the sun. Do that. How about that? Is that, yeah, that's a little better. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So, folks, when he fed the 5,000, it was with the word. The word is bread of life. So he spoke to them and he commissioned, his disciples. He first gave the word to his disciples. And he said, you go and you feed your 1,000 over here, and you go feed your 1,000 over here. You know what I'm saying? And that's how he broke the bread and he gave it to them to go and feed his disciples. I mean, the people. So let me tell you something. Not that God can't do it, okay? Because he can do it. But that's not how he works. That's man's thinking that, when he had these 2 fish and they just started multiplying. Come on, stop it. God don't work like that. That's how man work. Like these automation. That ain't God, that's man. Cut it out. So, yeah. So how he fed the 5,000 was with the word. And as I said, he broke bread and he divided among his disciples to go out and hey, you take these people over here, you take these people over here. And that's what it means. How do I know that? So yeah. Anyway, I'm just loving life out here, touching people, meeting people. And the reason why he said, forsake all others and follow me, is because, see, people can't handle other people loving you even more than they do, and they can't handle that. And so, this jealousy gets in the way. And so when they, if jealous people are around you,